Oh, the original Paradise City is one of my favorite sort of Guns N' Roses moments when that song was written. It's one of my favorite Guns songs because it's heavy and it's nasty, but it's up tempo and sort of in a positive kind of, it's not all dark and Dungeons and Dragons and whatever, so it's got this really sort of up tempo, positive kind of vibe, but it's still raunchy and it's very nasty and it's got a kick-ass delivery. And when we wrote it, we were in a van, on the way back from a gig in San Francisco back to Los Angeles. And it started out with the actual chorus, the chorus, the and it was one of those things where, the melody came to the chords and we were all in this van together. So, started singing, I think the words came around and then eventually, I came up with that riff, and it was just one of those songs that was totally, the product of just really good times, great camaraderie between 5 guys. And it was really cool, and it came together really quickly. It was all part of the moment, It's a song sort of, as in most Guns N' Roses songs, especially on the Appetite for Destruction record, it sort of just wrote itself. And, once everybody was jamming the chords and singing the chorus, and then that just came to mind. And there's not a lot of thinking going on, at least in the way that I do things. It's more sort of spontaneous, Very sort of loose, that's his way of loosely playing the main riff is always sort of in and around the actual notes. And then the part that I play is just went with the part. That was one of Izzy's parts. Was instead of using an octave pedal, which were actually few and far between back in the day, there's a few sort of commonly known ones now, but and they just didn't sound that good. So what I did is just record both parts in an octave apart. Yeah. So it's it's one of those. I thought that was sort of a cool way of doing it. It was a part of the solo where I do the same thing. So it's a little bit more genuine sounding. One of the interesting things about Guns N' Roses is a lot of the riffs that I write for Guns originally started out a little bit more driving, but as the sort of slower and more almost funky kind of thing. And then what happens as in all Guns N' Roses material, everything gets kicked up a notch, and that's just the way Guns N' Roses does. But I thought if I was going to redo the song, I was going to make it a little bit slower and a little heavier.